Hey guys, how you going? If you can hear anything in the background, it's the wind. It is very windy here, it is cold, and I think it's going to snow over the next 4 days, apparently. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, tonight we have, tonight my time, it's 5:45 p.m. on the 19th of August. Zuckerberg, Facebook and 3 fact-checkers sued for government-sponsored censorship. Don't like that guy. How much of what you believe is going on within the world's current events is actually true? Do you think you'd make different decisions if your perception was missing important bits of information that change any given story? This is an important question right now, as much of what people think is happening comes from mainstream media or fact-checkers, and much of the time it's only a small piece to the story that doesn't truly inform people. Ongoing Facebook censorship is forcing the hand of independent organisations who have had enough of the platform's allowance of independent fact-checkers to decide what is true and not true on Facebook, and also for unjustly destroying the trust these organisations worked for years to build. What happened? Children's Health Defence, led by Robert F. Kennedy Jr., has sued Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook Inc., and 3 fact-checkers, Science Feedback, Poynter Institute and PolitiFact, for censoring CHD's content on Facebook. CHD cited 1. First and Fifth Amendments, Bivens, 2. Lanham Act, 15 USC 1125A, 3. RICO fraud, number 4. Declaratory relief as their official complaints. Posted on the CHD website. Facebook acknowledges that it coordinates its censorship campaign with the WHO and the CDC. While earlier court decisions have upheld Facebook's right to censor its pages, CHD argues that Facebook's pervasive government collaborations make a censorship of CHD a First Amendment violation. The government's role in Facebook's censorship goes deeper than its close coordination with CDC and WHO. The Facebook censorship began at the suggestion of powerful Democratic Congressman and Intelligence Committee Chairman, Representative Adam Schiff, who in March 2019 asked Facebook to suppress and purge internet content critical of government vaccine policies. Facebook and Schiff used the term misinformation as a euphemism for any statement, whether truthful or not, that contradicts official government pronouncements. The WHO issued a press release commending Facebook for coordinating its ongoing censorship campaign with public health officials. That same day, Facebook published a warning label on CHD's page, which implies that CHD's content is inaccurate and directs CHD followers to turn to the CDC for reliable, up-to-date information. This is an important First Amendment case that tests the boundaries of government authority to openly censor unwanted critique of government. Why it matters. Many Facebook users are unaware that their perceptions about world events are manufactured by powerful interests and not facts. While people utilise news platforms and social media to get their news, they often don't have the time nor take the action of verifying the claims from any news source. Mainstream media is often blindly trusted, and anything on Facebook labelled as false is filed away in the mental category of never trust this website or other stories of this same topic. These perceptions then inform the decisions people make in their lives, everything from what politicians to support, what products are safe, whether to vaccinate their children, and so on. And this is exactly what MKUltra does, or part of it does. The programming. Are we allowing powerful corporations with direct interests in public acceptance and belief in certain ideas to regulate what information is true? Can we honestly say that our beliefs and perceptions around certain current events are grounded in facts? Have we been told all the facts? Or are some left out due to censorship? The real world results of censorship. The fact that science feedback is on this list is somewhat a personal pleasure for me, as here at CE we have dealt a great deal with the fact-checking company. They happen to be an organisation that all too often uses the straw man claim to debunk our material. They look at a piece of content they wish to censor. They then create a claim that isn't said in the content but relates to the content subject. Then they proceed to debunk the claim they created. The end result is a grey box on Facebook covering the news content and claiming it's false. This immediately kills virality and casts great deal of doubt over our work. Since the vast majority of people don't read fact-checking debunks, they never get to see the fact-checkers don't actually debunk all stories. They simply make it appear that they do. Fact-checkers have cost our company over $1 million a year in revenue since 2014, forcing us to have to lay off more than 70% of our staff. They've cut traffic to our website by over 90% as well, and YouTube did the same on January 1st, 2018, when they shut off traffic to our videos. Very interesting. Google also virtually shut off our search engine traffic on May the 1st, 2020, as seen in the graph below. Prior to this period, they had already been declining our search traffic. This was the most drastic shut-off. It's funny, that looks like my monetization graph. Just went, ooh. I am monetized, guys. I know some of you said you never see ads on my videos. I am monetized, but it's not very much, and I don't know if it's just ads or if it's my blogger. I don't think I've got ads on there, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I get a little bit, like it might be $5 to $10 a day, I think. It's not much, but anyway. Better than nothing at all, believe me. The results of a coordinated effort from major tech companies to censor our work has made it incredibly difficult to provide the trusted high-value service we worked for over a decade to build. Since all of this, we've created our own platform called CETV. That is the primary means by which viewers, readers can support our work. The takeaway. We will continue to update you with what happens with this court case as it proceeds. The war on consciousness and public perception has been ongoing for years, but seems to be culminating. Here goes those, like I just can't get my mouth around them. Culminating as shadow government powers are exposed over the course of time. This public awakening to what happens behind the scenes in our world is a powerful and primary process in the overall evolution of humanity's consciousness. As we expose and do away with a world built on separation, conflict, and ego, we awaken to a consciousness that wishes to create a world of unity, connection, and thrivability. Understanding what's going on here is all part of the process. Please consider becoming a member and all that. And I'll put this link for you down below. It's Collective Evolution. And then we have these. I just thought I'd bring you these because it's good to hear like different opinions and different points of view. Okay, so from 3 days, 3 nights, when deciding who to follow, consider following content you like rather than people. Okay, and I'll put all these links down below for you as well. Just, I don't know, you might want to go there and have a look for yourself. Waking up is a process. It's something we go through over time. I have thousands of hours of study into this, and I still wake up to new truths every day. Which I do too. I learn new things every day. Like, I am working on Project Bluebeam. Right, okay, that should be out tomorrow. I just found a whole lot of information, and it might be a longer video. So I'm going to have to start working on it first thing in the morning, and hopefully I'll have that to you either in 2 parts or one large part tomorrow. Okay, imagine waking up from a coma right now in 2020 and having someone try to explain things. How would you explain to someone who woke, say they're in a coma for the last year or 2 and they've just woken up now? How would you? That's how I tried to go with my channel. I know I've been awake for a long time, but what I used to think was, how would I explain this to someone just waking up? But then every now and then I go off on my interests and we'll go and delve into things that might sound way out to people, but I find them interesting. Those moaning about how dark our country's future seems to have been sucked in by the MS. I don't know. Those moaning about how dark our country's future seems to be have been sucked in by the MSM narrative. Those who dig deeper know that the Patriots are in control. There are 2.5 eventful months ahead. After that, the future is bright with limitless potentials. Remember, God wins. Then there is from Avi Yamini, breaking. Scott Morrison says a coronavirus vaccine would be as mandatory as you can possibly make it. Now, some people took this as, oh, he's making it mandatory. But I read as mandatory as you can possibly make it. Well, with the Australian Constitution, you can't. And with people rejecting it, I don't think it's going to work. I really don't. There's that many people rejecting it that this will not work. So when he says as mandatory as you can possibly make it, it's not going to happen. Okay. Sorry, that's another one. I won't go through that one just yet. I've got to read it. I don't know what it's about. Bookmarks. Okay. The PM on News Breakfast, when asked about aged care outbreaks in Victoria, we regulate aged health care, but when there is a public health pandemic, then public health, whether it gets into aged cares, shopping centres, school or anywhere else, then they are the things that are for Victoria. I don't know if people understand how politics works. Your state premier runs your state. So if you have Victoria has a Labor premier, and Labor and the Greens are part of the Communist Party, right? Okay. So when people say, oh, New South Wales, you're next, we have a Liberal running ours. Now, unless she's on their side, we should stay open. But Queensland, I think they have a Labor premier. And these are the people who are running your state. It's not... Everybody blames the Prime Minister for everything going on in Australia when it's not actually his decision. They regulate, they advise, he advises, the PM advises the premiers what to do. He cannot make them do. This is what you voted in Victoria. And anywhere where you have voted Labor, which I think South Australia is another one, I'm not sure. Let me know, guys, down below. But the people who are on the side of the globalists are going to shut down their states, okay? Simple as that. So you will know if who you voted for, who your premier is a globalist by whether they shut down your state. That includes any country as well, guys. That includes, New Zealand. I'm sorry, you have a horror of a Prime Minister over there. And I feel sorry for you guys. I don't know if you've got separate states or if you're or just your PMs running everything. Or I know in America it's the same. Donald Trump may be in charge of the country, but each state has their own politician running it. So whose district are you in? Are you, whose state? Like New York was Cuomo, wasn't it? Or is he just... it goes all the way down. All the way down. There's your state politicians, then your local politicians. There's so many layers of politicians, it's ridiculous. And do you know how hard it would be for anyone to get anything done because they are all on opposing sides? Believe it or not, it makes it harder. And I used to think that was a good thing, but now looking at Victoria and all the states that are run by Labor, not looking good. Then there could be just suburbs of people who, like, I know the mountains where I am is run by Greens. Their local members of Parliament are mostly Greens or Labor. So it remains to be seen how far down to the local level this is going to go. But guys, I would take this here and just keep this in mind, that there are 2.5 eventful months ahead. Okay, just know that the Patriots are in control, and stop falling for the MSM narrative. So when you see a news story, look at whoever is printing it out, because they are all lies. Some of them are given the truth every now and then, but most of it's lies. And even if they are spitting out the truth, you're going to have to, I think we're going to have to turn it off. This is an edit to the video. Okay, with what's going on in Victoria right now, I don't know whether it would be better to go out and protest or to stay locked down if they are actually saving the children. But the point of you're watching a movie keeps coming back to me. So that's where I'm standing at the moment between those two, but I think we also have to help ourselves. We have to help the people trying to help us. So we have to stand up as well and say no more. Okay guys, let me know what you think down below, but I think, look, we really should, we should know about this. Okay, it's not that your country seems to be getting darker and darker, it's just that it's being the light's being shone upon what has already been going on for many, many years. No different now. Okay, so stop listening to the MSN, dig deeper and know that Patriots are in control. There are 2.5 eventful months ahead. After that, the future is bright with limitless potentials. Remember, God wins, guys. Okay, I hope you have a good night, and I will be back tomorrow with Blue Beam. Okay guys, have a good one. Bye.